Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I told y'all I was back and I'm so excited to be back on the channel, to be making content. So this is great. I'm actually thinking about a content schedule. So I'm hoping tonight is Friday. So I think Friday is going to be one of my recording days. And then I'm thinking Monday will be a recording day. And then I will do Wednesday as a game day, like a day that I'm going to play the game. Well, I'm thinking Monday, Friday, and then the game day I'm thinking is Wednesday, but I might be tired on Wednesday nights, so I'm thinking maybe Saturday nights might be a game day, so I might do Friday, Saturday, Monday, but definitely I'm thinking Friday and Monday will be recording dates so that I can make some consistent content, and then I'm still gonna throw in some bonus videos. So with that being said, this is my first video back since passing the bar, since everything that's been going on in the world. I haven't posted a video in 6 months. I posted one earlier today. But I am here to actually record a real video with some juice. And so this one isn't really any juice. I'm just going to give like a little brief takeaway on it. So in this video, I'm discussing R. Kelly's trial team. And if you all know, R. Kelly's trial team is actually, 2 of his attorneys have requested to withdraw. And so the people who have requested to withdraw are Mr. Greenberg and who is it? It's Mr. Greenberg and look at it's one other attorney that I don't know that well. I know Greenberg has been representing R. Kelly for a long time. So there's attorney Greenberg and attorney I don't see the second attorney. Just as 2 attorneys are requesting to leave, Steve Greenberg and Michael Leonard. So attorney Greenberg and attorney Leonard are asking to withdraw from R. Kelly's case, and they said it has become impossible to represent him. And the reason why it's become impossible for them to represent him is because they say that R. Kelly has hired new attorneys who don't know what they're doing and have never worked a federal case before. They feel like that it is very difficult for them to work with these new attorneys. They say that they tried to talk to R. Kelly and to no avail. So that is what they say. Now, I'm going to say something. I'm going to be honest. I think that a part of this is likely not good for R. Kelly. If Steve Greenberg has been in R. Kelly's corner for a very long time, and I don't know about Leonard, but attorney Leonard probably, I think it says he has as well. And so this is the danger when you hire attorneys that are going to go, because they said they tried to talk to R. Kelly and R. Kelly doesn't want to talk to them. He probably doesn't want to talk to them because he agrees with what the newer attorneys are saying. And here is the little bit of problem with that. The problem is that, as an attorney, we do have a code of ethics. And the code of ethics 1 says that you can present a defense that you reasonably believe is true. And so if he's hiring new attorneys who probably are fans of the case, probably fans of R. Kelly, or at least fans of this case and have some in-depth knowledge, they might, you think that you're going to make a name for yourself. I think a lot of young attorneys feel like they're going to make a name for themselves. So I'm going to present this defense or present it this kind of way because I'm going to make a name for myself and change the game of law. I think that so many attorneys want to do that besides do their job, right? And so that might be what's happening. These young, I know that R. Kelly has a little bit of some wild defenses. We talked about them in previous videos. I think that some of R. Kelly's defenses were a little wild. And these attorneys might be going through with those defenses. These attorneys might actually be like, yeah, these are good ideas. Or maybe they have some ideas of how to handle some witnesses. But it's definitely probably based on the fact that they want to withdraw. It's probably a substantive issue. It's probably something that affects the case. It probably is something that affects the outcome. It probably is something that affects their ethical responsibilities as an attorney. That's just my interpretation of it. The other thing is that trial is in 2 months. So I wonder how this is going to affect R. Kelly's trial. Is this a ploy to try and get more time for trial? You know, R. Kelly's trial, we have been waiting for this trial for a long time. I cannot wait till it starts, because I'm going to be watching this trial like a hawk. So we're going to have so many great videos about this trial. But I do wonder, is this really a stall tactic? Because we know that and so here's the other thing. So you all may not know, but if when you sub attorneys out or sub attorneys in or switch counsel, it often gives you more time, right? Because the new counsel has new responsibility. Even though these attorneys have been on for a while, they haven't been 100% the attorney. They have to redelegate work. They have to reassess. If they say that Leonard and Greenberg are working on all this stuff and now they have to catch up, he could probably get another 2 months out of trial. So that's the first thing. So that's one of the benefits of switching out attorneys. That's why I know that it's up to the judge's discretion if you're going to be able to do this, because of that very reason. Because the judge is not interested in extending trial, extending things out. So that's why, especially in criminal law, it's not as easy to sub out. You know, I think in family law and certain other laws, it's a little easier to sub out, but in criminal law, it is not. So I think that may be the issue. And so that's what I'm thinking the issues are. You know, I think that this case is probably going to be the case of the 21st century. You know, I know that OJ's case was the case of the 20th century. I think this is probably going to be the case of the 21st century, because this case is probably going to touch on some really, really deep things, and we'll see how it goes. But yeah, so his attorneys, they just want to leave. These two attorneys are like, look, I'm done. Do I think this is good for R. Kelly? No. I think that in the short term, yes, he's getting, in the short term, he might get a little less time. I know that the judge actually ordered a rare hearing on this matter. So he ordered a hearing to determine whether he was going to let the attorney sub out. So like I said, subbing out in criminal is a little harder, especially at the federal level. And so I think that this in the short term may buy R. Kelly some time, but in the long term, losing his attorneys who have been there since day one probably is not the best thing. And I know that people are like, oh no, they're not on his side, this is the best news ever. But it's probably not a good sign if his legal team cannot get on the same page and the same accord. That really worries everybody. That's worrisome to me, because it signifies that there is probably a narrative being drawn. You know, sometimes when you the preferred thing is, if you're doing criminal defense, the client has a great narrative of what happened. Whether it's true or not, you're not deciding that, right? Like they say, don't tell me if you're guilty. So you're not deciding whether the narrative is true or not. What you're deciding is you're telling their narrative. So if they're having a big disagreement, my thought is maybe they're trying to conjure up a narrative, or maybe the narrative presented wasn't good. It's something there that's not going good, you know, because, you know, my thought in law, you know, I'm very like, I think that I hope I'm going to be good at this and a great litigator actually in court. So shout out to me, who's going to be going to court soon. But I think that I remember I interviewed for a DA position, and I actually ranked first. But unfortunately, when I got the DA, when I ranked first, I actually didn't pass the bar at the time, so I didn't do it. But I actually ranked first in the DA interview, and I got like a 99% on the interview. And one of the reasons why is because I know that law is so much about telling a good story. You know, you have to be a good storyteller, and you tell and I always think of it as this grandiose story, and you use law to back up your story, you know. And I think that that's so important. So I think that his attorneys are probably trying to figure out what is the story. They may not be agreeing with the story. They may not be agreeing with who to call as a witness. A big issue a lot of times in cases is who are the witnesses, who is a credible witness, who is a witness that may damage your case. Just because somebody says what you want them to say does not mean that they're a good witness, right? So you might have someone, you might say, I'm gonna ask my sister to be my witness, and you think, oh, that's my sister, perfect, she's gonna say exactly what I want her to say. Once she gets up there, she's looking around, she's uncredible, she got a couple felonies for lying or being mischievous or for stealing, right? And so her credibility comes into issues. And I know there is a evidence rules that that extrinsic evidence cannot be used to challenge a witness, but there are a lot of loopholes attorneys use. One of the other things an attorney might do is they might say, hey, so did you know that blah 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 did X, Y, and Z, and it catches them off guard, and they're like, no, I didn't know that. And so it destroys their credibility. So it might be a credibility issue with witnesses. It might be a narrative, a story. Like I said, your story is so important. And so how would I defend R. Kelly? I think I'm gonna do a video. I actually don't know how I would defend him, because there's a lot of evidence. I think there's a lot of silly defenses being brought. But I think that he has a strong defense in the fact that he's illiterate. I know that ignorance is no excuse for the law, but I think that a big part of the prosecution's argument is that R. Kelly ran a criminal enterprise, and enterprises have paperwork. Enterprises have a lot of written things, which is what they said, you know. And so I think that there's something there. I think there's something there with the age and the knowledge of the age. And yes, like I said, ignorance is no excuse of the law. But maybe some other information. But there may be some loopholes there. I think attacking the witnesses is not the best option, and I don't think saying it's his brother is a good option. But I think that you know, there might be some case law that speaks to those issues, the issues of not knowing their age, the issue that he cannot read. So because one of the charges is transporting minors, but he can't read, so he didn't order those tickets. He can't use a computer or whatever they're gonna argue. He can't transport those minors. He didn't do that. He didn't transport the minors across state lines. And then all the ones that are not videotaped. So if you're a witness without a videotape, how do you prove this? How do you prove that you did it, right? It's your word against his. And finding the loopholes, the questions, you know, finding like Azriel Clary, you know, you can't never say that you were held hostage or held against your will because you're living your best life. Or, you know, maybe you came in young, but you were already 18, right? Or we didn't have sex until you were 18. So there's a lot of little teeny loopholes because the truth is, you know, when you are in criminal, it has to be beyond a reasonable doubt. So all his team has to do is establish some doubt in the jury. I think that that's what people miss. They don't have to prove that he's innocent. They have to convince the jury that they're not sure that he's guilty. So that's what I would do. I'm actually gonna probably do a video on if I were his attorneys, what would my defense be? I wouldn't go through like extrinsically, like opening argument is R. Kelly, like, you know, like opening argument R. Kelly, a singer, a voice of our generation, a black man who grew up in Chicago, who survived X, Y, and Z, who made a better life for his family, who made a better life for those around him. Robert Kelly, someone that we all connected with, someone that we all feel for, has become a target. He's become targeted by some of the very people that he helped. So for the very people that he believed in, some of the very people that he gave opportunities to. Robert Kelly, somebody who gave opportunities to so many artists, who created so many artists, and these women who were his artists, his assistants, his managers, who he trusted and loved because he loved his mother, because he saw his mother in them, his mother, a Christian woman, a woman who went to church, a woman that instilled God in him, a woman that instilled in him to give back to his community, to love his fellow people. He saw women who reminded him of his mother, and he gave them so much. He believed in them. And these women, along with this government, are presenting ideas and beliefs that are against this black man. And this black man who struggled. And we see it in America, what black men go through. And so I'm here to tell you that R. Kelly is not a child molester. R. Kelly is not a person that molests young women. He is a generous man who gives everything he can to up and coming artists, male and female. And unfortunately, he's paying the price for kindness. I want you all to remember the statement that no good deed goes unpunished. And R. Kelly is being punished for being a good citizen, a good member of his community, a good black man, a good man from the south side of Chicago, for giving back, for mentoring, for giving these people everything that he could, every ounce of talent. He's paying the price right now. So I ask you, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, to remember this when you hear this case. Remember Robert Kelly's upbringing. Remember everything that he has gone through. And keep that in the back of your mind. And so as we take this ride, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, remember who he is. Remember that on the inside. And remember his upbringing. Remember that as you go through. And because Robert Kelly is innocent. And so I would do some kind of opening argument like that. I mean, of course, like, that's not great. Like, I just thought that up on the top of my head, right? But that's something I would do. Now, do I think he's innocent? I don't know. Y'all probably have ideas about that. But if I was going to do an opening argument, that's what I would say, right? So as we prepare for trial, I'm going to probably do a lot of fun stuff. I love passion and opening arguments. That's what I did on my TA exam. One of the things was doing opening argument. And I'm not going to tell you what kind of case, because I think I signed a non-disclosure. But we had to do an opening argument. And I think that was one of the things that I did, was I had passion. And I think I said, like, attorney is good storytelling. I feel like when you're in a case, you're in it. All my clients, people that I help with their paperwork, or I help some people file their businesses, I feel for them. I feel for them beyond just client relationship. I feel for them personally. I think so many attorneys like the fame, they like the party, they like to do this, but do you feel for your clients? I feel for people because they're black men. Whether I think he's guilty or not, I'm not going to say. I think y'all pretty much know that, but he's still a black man. And what do I feel about black men going to jail? What do I feel like that them getting an equal shot? Because I know there's a lot of non-black men, a lot of white men who have gotten away with a lot of things and moved on like it was nothing. And so our black men, what are we going to do? What are we going to do to protect them? And maybe not protect them. Do I think that he should get out and walk the streets? Probably not. But what are the alternatives? What are the more? Do I think he should get the rest of his life in jail? Probably not. So what's in the middle? What are the options? What could we do? But I just wanted to discuss about his attorneys withdrawing, talk a little bit about what I would say if I was given an opening argument. I'm going to pull some more R. Kelly stuff. I'm actually going to finish my Roe v. Carrington situation. I'm going to finish my WCW lawsuit, and I'm also going to finish follow this R. Kelly trial closely. I also I'm going to pick up the NBA YoungBoy trial and do a little bit of conversation about that. NBA YoungBoy, and I think there's a couple other artists that are facing big time. And I know attorneys, they like, a criminal defense attorney reviews XYZ, but I'm not gonna be like that. I want to give passion. I want to give an extra insight, because I feel like I have a different perspective, not just as a woman, but as a black woman. And as a black woman that grew up in South LA, I feel like I have a very unique perspective on this, and a very unique experience with so many of these people going to prison. Because let's be real, almost every boyfriend I've had has been in prison at some point in their life. So I think I have a little bit of different view. You know, I laugh at people in the comments because they're saying like, you want to bring down black men. You're one of those people. And I'm like, oh no, I'm one of the girls that used to visit my exes in jail every weekend. I'm the girl that put money on their books every weekend. I'm the girl that accepted their collect calls and sent them packages and went and saw their mamas while they were in prison. I'm that girl. So I think that I have a unique perspective. Just because I don't always say free them immediately doesn't mean I don't know. But I know I get a lot of hate in the comments from people saying, you're just another black girl trying to bring a black man goddamn. And I said, oh no, you baby, you don't know what it's like to drive 3 and 4 hours to visit a black man in prison. And I've done that on multiple occasions. I used to drive and see my ex 3 hours each way every single weekend. On some weekends I would do it on Saturday and then do it on Sunday again. So I just want to say that and preface that as we do these cases, because sometimes I'm going to say an opinion that may not be the popular opinion, but it's not because I'm naive or from another world. It's because I'm from actually probably one of the realest worlds out there. But with that being said, I just wanted to give you all a little bit of insight on who I am and a little bit about me besides like my funny date night stories. So with that being said, thank y'all so much for listening and watching my video. I appreciate it so much. I'm so excited to be back. I'm so excited. I'm going to share y'all my career journey and everything like that. So I just love you all so much. I just want us to have a great, positive, and fun ride on this channel. And so I hope and pray that everybody's weekend is great. And with that being said, please like this video, share this video, subscribe to this video. You know, I greatly appreciate it. I know, you know, when I was making all of videos, my video channel was growing, but now it's stagnant because I haven't made any videos. So if y'all can help a sister out, I'd appreciate it. And so with that, like, share, comment, and subscribe. And thank you so much for watching. Love y'all and have an amazing weekend. Bye.